Hello and welcome to part 5 on our grind to get through What If Total Drama Island. This is Katie's part, and this will be pretty interesting because there's a lot that can go down if Katie and Sadie don't get lost, which yeah, we'll get to it. So we'll start with the fact that Not So Happy Campers Part 1, Not So Happy Campers Part 2, The Big Sleep, Dodge Brawl, and Not Quite Famous all play out the exact same. So everyone's introduced in this episode, Ezekiel gets voted out in this episode, freaking Eva gets voted out in this episode, of course, Noah gets voted out in this episode, and Justin gets voted out in this episode. If you want to see anything on these 4, I do have 4 videos that I have released today about these 4. So, yeah. But then we get to the sucky outdoors, and here's what I think happens. In canon, Katie and Sadie get lost and run into a cave where they sleep for the night. And the reason they get lost is because they stop to eat some berries, because I think Katie spots like berry bush. So in this canon, all we have to change is Katie just doesn't look over there, and Katie does not see the berry bush. Because of that, the killer bass do originally get back first, but they just don't have Katie and Sadie. So because of that, the killer bass win the challenge since they have them this time, giving us another elimination on the screaming gophers. So Heather still has Lindsay and Beth, but realistically speaking, I don't think she can get Owen on her side again, or Izzy. Well, actually, I'm going to change what I just said. Izzy, in the merge, Izzy starts working with Heather for at least a few rounds with like no explanation, just off screen they start working together. So I think she can get Izzy on her side, but not Owen again. And she doesn't even. Heather's already mad at Izzy and Owen, but she mainly goes with Owen, because at least Izzy's on her side. So the 4 of them vote Owen. This is because Owen has the bear story, and then Izzy has the bear costume, and then that attracts a real bear. Actually, now that I think about it, she'd probably be more. Heather's not that smart, especially at this beginning portion of the season. So she'd probably just get Lindsay and Beth to vote Izzy and expect everyone else to do the same, because it's Izzy and Owen's fault they lost the challenge. But in a turn of events that pretty much everybody except her saw coming, the 6 of these people all vote out Heather and send her kicking and screaming home. What's so funny to me is that in almost all of these videos, if you change one thing, Heather gets cooked. Heather's freaking villain arc this season is so fragile. It's like a deck of cards. If you just freaking move one little thing, she gets cooked. I think she's literally gotten cooked in like the first few eliminations, almost every single round, or almost every single time that I've done this, except maybe Noah, and I can't remember about Ezekiel. So yeah, this leads us to phobia factor. And for phobia factor, I don't think much of anything changes. I think Katie and Sadie, pretty obviously theirs is to be separated from each other. And yeah, theirs is to be separated from each other, and I think they fail. So when we come to elimination, we have Duncan, Courtney, Jeff, of course we have, oh yeah, let me quickly put these 2 right here, do that. Then we have DJ, Jeff, Bridget, Harold, Katie, Sadie, Tyler. So while they consider getting Tyler out for his extremely poor performance in the challenge, Courtney also had a bad performance, and both of them didn't have as bad a performance as Katie or Sadie, who literally see each other all the time, so they think it's pathetic they can't go 5 seconds without each other. So to teach them a lesson, they're gonna put them away from each other a little more permanently. But in this timeline, I think Sadie is the one that's more desperate for Katie's attention. So even though even though they originally vote out Katie first, I think in this timeline they vote out Sadie first, because Sadie would be the one to break and run to Katie. So yeah, I think that's realistically what happens, and Sadie gets eliminated, and they still have their whole emotional goodbye, just the roles are a little reversed. This leads us to Up the Creek. Now for Up the Creek, this is originally when Izzy gets chased down by the RCMP, and with everything going on, Katie just kind of taking Sadie's spot, and Tyler being here, even though he's a screw up, I think he'd still definitely be helpful. As well as on this team, it's a lot, they don't have Heather, so these two are just being even dumber. I think realistically, the Killer Bass do win this, and at this point, there's, I think these three probably want to get Cody out, just because, you know, he's a weirdo, but it doesn't matter. Lindsay and Beth want to get revenge for losing Heather, so they probably vote like Gwen or Trent, and then who knows what Owen and Izzy are doing, but it doesn't matter because Izzy gets chased off by the RCMP, so goodbye Izzy, at least for now. Yeah. Then we have Paintball Deer Hunt, and Paintball Deer Hunt does change a lot. You see, with Paintball Deer Hunt, while Beth does have her bad luck idol that she got all the way back from Up the Creek, so all the way back from like one episode ago, but she got her little disadvantage idol. She doesn't show it to Lindsay just yet, just because she doesn't think to, and she has nobody to stand up to since Heather's already gone. So this episode mainly consists of these two being dumbasses together, but also being better workers because they're actually hunting, as well as Gwen, Trent, Lashana, Cody. Everyone's fine. Now I think they actually win this challenge, but Cody does still get mauled by a bear. Now that they have two more of their hunters actually doing shit in Lindsay and Beth. So Cody gets mauled by a bear and is in critical condition, all in his full body cast, but does not get eliminated. And he decides to stay in as well. So for the Killer Bass, I think they don't really, like, Tyler's more useful in challenges than Katie or Harold, and they like bullying Harold. So I think realistically, sorry, but Katie just gets kind of cooked in the Paintball Deer Hunt. Now, even though she is the main character of this video, and only lasted 2 more episodes than in canon, there has been enough ripple effects for us to continue. Like, for example, Cody and Tyler still being here, while Heather and Sadie aren't. So we can continue with our what if until it's the exact same, which will be literally right at the end because Heather's gone. So yeah, we get to If You Can't Take the Heat. And in If You Can't Take the Heat, just like last time, without Heather, I think the Screaming Gophers do a lot better, but because of Owen, I think they still kind of screw it up. And with a lot of the... and also Cody's useless. So, with a lot of the hate on Lindsay and Beth cooling down as they become more of pawns for Heather's evil plan, or less of that and more of just two freaking ditzes having fun together. These 5 vote for Cody, while Cody votes for Trent. Owen probably also votes Cody just because of the state he's in, and he's eliminated 1 episode later. He got a little more healed, at least. So yeah, then we get to Who Can You Trust, and Who Can You Trust is actually the one where originally Sadie's eliminated. But I think we still have the Killer Bass lose, but I think at this point Tyler and Jeff have gotten in cahoots a lot. I feel like they get along really well, and since they're confined to the same team together, I feel like they are just good. So these 3 obviously, because by extension Bridget's gonna go do what Jeff wants, so they are able to convince. Oh, 1 second. I don't know what that was. Anyways, they're able to convince Duncan, and Duncan's like, fine, we'll get out Harold. And it's right in front of Harold, and obviously they don't think it matters because it's freaking 6-1. But Harold gets pissed and decides, you know what? I'm rigging the votes, and it's against Courtney. So Courtney has the votes rigged against him. But because Jeff, Tyler, and Bridget just had their new thing and were able to convince Duncan to change the vote off of Tyler, now Duncan and by extension DJ think that it was Jeff, Tyler, and Bridget that voted Courtney, along with Harold, obviously. So yeah, Duncan's pissed. This leads us to Basic Straining. In Basic Straining, this is originally the episode where Courtney gets it hacked, the votes hacked. But this time, even though the Killer Bass still lose, I don't think that's what happens, obviously, because Courtney isn't here. So what happens is, I think Harold comes up to Duncan and is like, look, I know you don't like me, but I'm telling you that I didn't vote for Courtney. I voted for you. So it had to have been DJ to get you out, or to get Courtney out. So now Duncan crashes out at DJ too, and DJ's a very emotional person. So now DJ, along with reluctantly Jeff, Tyler, and Bridget, and Harold, who played the shit out of both of them, all vote Duncan, and Duncan gets eliminated, only furthering his thought of Jeff, Tyler, Bridget, and DJ being the reason why him and his girlfriend got eliminated. This brings us to Extreme Torture, where without Heather, I think realistically, Harold sees either I think it would probably be just by logic it would be Beth's breasts, which I don't think he'd be super impressed about. So he still locks in, and because of that they win, and the Screaming Gophers go to elimination, where I think Owen is super likable, and Gwen and Trent are together, and Lashawna's friends. So I think the four of them stick together, and they're gonna vote out Lindsay. When Beth shows Lindsay her, she's like, "Oh yeah, did you see that? Did you see that? I got a freaking good luck charm." And Lindsay's like, "Oh, what?" And Beth shows it to Lindsay, and Lindsay freaks out. And Lindsay, Gwen, Trent, Lashawna, and Owen all vote out Beth at Extreme Torture. This leads to our Boys versus Girls Brunch of Disgustingness, and this is the first time where we have an unequal gender disparity. But I think Chris would pretty easily go, okay, DJ, Harold, that is not Harold, DJ, Jeff, Tyler, Trent, Owen for the guys, and then Bridget, Lindsay, Gwen, Lashawna, and as a joke, Harold for the girls, and Harold would be offended. But Harold still had his thing go down with Lashawna, and now that they're on the same little 5-person team, they get along even better. So yeah, then the boys still obviously win this. You have Tyler, who's all for extreme things, but it doesn't matter when you have freaking Owen on here. So they pretty much win this, but with no Heather to really stir up the drama on the girls while this happens, Gwen, Lashawna just get closer, and Harold and Lashawna get a lot closer. As well as, I think Lindsay and Bridget and Gwen are good, and I think Lindsay is just kind of there, being an idiot and being sad that her friends are gone. But this leads us to our merge section. We have DJ, Jeff, Tyler, Trent, Owen, as well as Lindsay, Bridget, Gwen, Lashawna, and Harold. Now, one other thing is we have Eva return with her grudge against Bridget, and we have Izzy return with her just being Izzy. These people were both eliminated at the exact same spot as in canon, so there's no reason for them not to bring him back. That paired with the fact that I don't think people would consider, obviously they don't consider Ezekiel, Noah, or Justin favorites over Eva, but I don't think in-universe people would want Heather here, because Heather doesn't have any big flashy plays. She's just kind of a bitch right now in the timeline, so I don't think they'd want her back over Eva, which in universe is a fan favorite. So this gets us to our merge, and in the merge, since there's no Duncan to make a guys alliance, it's kind of just a dating simulator. Lindsay and Tyler have obviously been into each other, but they make things official. Jeff and Bridget are together. Gwen and Trent are together. Harold and Lashana are together, and we have these four right here. Because a lot of people don't want to break up all the happy couples. Oh, by the way, I guess I can move these two right here because we can also put DJ with them. Because no one wants to break up any happy couples. After Lashana wins immunity, everyone decides to collectively take out Eva, as always. So this gets us to search and do not destroy. But this is a bit of a weird one. So in search of do not destroy, it is pretty obvious that the producers gave it to the villain. But at this point in the season, especially with Eva just getting voted out, I don't think there's a specific villain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the random number generator. And out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we are going to randomly generate who gets immunity. So the answer is 10, which is Owen. So congratulations, Owen. Once again, though, realistically, I think none of these people, everyone is on good terms right now. Everyone. When Lashana, Harold, Trent, Bridget, Jeff is all one big thing, and everyone are just fine with, and DJ, and everyone's fine with just letting Lindsay and Tyler vibe for now, because neither of them are huge threats. So they kind of just are like, okay, we'll get the other person who is not in a couple, Izzy, until they realize Owen and Izzy just got together. So now it's literally battle of the couples. They have one, 2, 3, 4, 5 couples, and also DJ. So what ends up happening is they still vote out Izzy, and Owen is like super sad, and Owen is mad that everyone else gets to keep their love while he doesn't. So everyone feels kind of bad because nobody really thought about it. Robbie is calling me. I will have to call him back later because I'm recording right now. So sorry, Izzy, the comebacks really didn't serve a purpose in this timeline. This then gets us to Hide and Be Sneaky. And for Hide and Be Sneaky, this is originally when Bridget gets eliminated due to the Guys Alliance. But I don't think that would happen in this timeline. Instead, I think these three, like, people would realize, alright, we can't just let this happen. So I think these three would make a final 3 pact. I also think these 4 would make a final 4 pact. So what they do is these 4 would just be like, alright, but let's keep it calm for a little bit. We'll just get one of the ditses out. Oh crap, I gotta go eat dinner. Let me finish this episode. So I think these 4 vote Lindsay, but these 2, along with Owen, are wrapped in by these guys who reluctantly decide to all vote out what they think is the biggest power couple in the season, which is currently Gwen and Trent. They have the strongest bond, so they decide to vote for Gwen. Because Gwen is just the person with the bigger feats. And also a lot of the guys just like Gwen. While the only person who really, really likes Gwen at this point, who is on this side, is Bridget. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go eat dinner, and then I might have to walk the dogs before, but I will be back eventually, guys. All right, y'all, I'm back. Sorry for rushing hide and be sneaky, but where were we? We're on That's Off the Chain, right? So, yeah, I remember all this. All right, so I think for That's Off the Chain, Tyler wipes out almost immediately. Bridget doesn't do that crazy, and everybody else was here in canon except Harold, who I think gets pretty far, but not too far. He doesn't make it past the final line, which is the only thing that matters. And with Lindsay's insane skills, she impresses the crap out of Tyler, but it's also eliminated by that dumbass technicality. So there goes the bullshit round. Sorry, Lindsay. Then another one that's just a lock-in. It is actually not DJ. You would think Hook, Line, and Screamer would be DJ, but no. By the way, the in-canon universe reason for there being 2 purge eliminations after this, after Hide and Be Sneaky, is because Chris was getting disgusted with all the love and wanted to get rid of some of the couples and the partners. So, Hook, Line, and Screamer, Harold has a more pathetic thing. Or maybe he like jumps into Lashana's arms or something, I don't know, and gets eliminated. So then we get back to actual freaking challenges with voting and stuff. We have the Wawanakwa Gone Wild. Now, if I don't have this mistaken, this is originally when Izzy gets out. Yep. So, Izzy is already not here. So what I think happens is now that there's so few people left, I think these 4 already have Tyler and Owen. But I think this is when Trent, who has lost Gwen at this point, gets the bright idea to put his differences aside and, at least for Tyler and Owen, and make a guys alliance with them. Also, he ropes Lashana into this supposed guys alliance, even though she's not a guy, because Lashana is good friends with him since they're both obviously really close with Gwen. So with these 4, he's like, all right. Now he's not as petty as like a Harold, for example, but I think he's still like, all right, you got rid of my girlfriend, I'm getting rid of yours. And he gets Bridget out, which she's kind of collateral damage. Actually, no, I don't think he'd be that petty. I think he'd just go for the kill and get Jeff out. Plus Lashana is and Trent are still kind of cool with Bridget since Bridget's cool with Gwen. And in this timeline, Jeff and Gwen never got their bonding episode. So yeah, this leads us to the Trial by Triarm Triathlon. I freaking love that name. I've come to love it today after saying it so many times. Now this is the I think the duos here are, I think the most obvious one is DJ, who's super shy and stuff, versus Tyler, who's a freaking wild idiot who wants to do a bunch of crazy stuff that DJ's terrified of. Of course, I think we have Trent and Bridget would definitely be the focus of the drama aspect, and Owen and Lashana are together. Where did I get Izzy? Are together because of their thing back in Bunch of Disgustingness. So, yeah, Bridget and Trent, though, both are partially responsible for getting each other's partners out. So they have a huge argument this episode and end up making up at the end, but not before they lose. And because of that, they are the only 2 eligible for elimination tonight. Or actually, sorry, no, that is Are We There Yeti? My bad. The people who win are the ones that are immune. So there's actually 4 people up for elimination, and I think Owen and Lashana realistically beat DJ and dumbass Tyler. But this would be really good comedic relief to watch. So I think Bridget and Trent eventually make up and calm down. But they still have both agreed that they're going to try their best to get each other out, so that they can see who's the best power couple. But they've like at least toned it down a little bit. So they both rally the troops. Bridget gets DJ, Trent gets Lashana, and it is on to try to do this. But I think Tyler was already close with Jeff, but never got close to DJ, which is why it took a lot of convincing to even get Tyler to vote Jeff. But now Tyler's been feeling bad about it, especially seeing how mad Bridget got. Jeff took it well, but Bridget got very mad, so Tyler regrets it and decides to swap up on him, and it becomes a 3 versus 3 vote. And while no tiebreakers happen in Island, I'm assuming that they would just happen like normal here with like some dumb challenge relating to the actual thing. I don't know, to the current challenge from the episode. So with these 3 voting Trent and these 3 voting Bridget, they have their more so friendly competition than hating each other's guts, but it's still definitely there a little bit. They have their fight, and realistically, I think in most tiebreakers, Trent wins. I think this is where Bridget's clumsiness comes to bite her in the ass. I'm also doing this for variety's sake, because Bridget has gotten super far in literally every single what if so far, somehow. So Bridget and Jeff get back-to-back eliminated. This leads us to our final 5, which is a very interesting final 5, to say the least, with only 2 people remaining, but from the original. But that is going to get cut short because Katie and Sadie still do their thing. Yes, they were eliminated a little later, but it still doesn't matter. So Lashana is eliminated in Hot Capture, another name I love right there. So yeah, nothing much you can do about that. This leads to, I think we get Owen and Trent versus DJ and Tyler. Crazy how we got 4 guys at the end. That's never happened before, or 4 girls, but 4 guys at the end is kind of crazy. So we get, I think Trent and Owen. I think Trent is definitely the smartest person here. I think DJ would get afraid of the dark, and Tyler would just be clumsy as crap. So Trent and Owen would definitely be far ahead of them at the beginning, but I still think Owen screws up in the end, and goes for the cookies or whatever they were. I forgot if there were cookies or cinnamon buns, I think they were, or cinnamon rolls, maybe brownies, whatever they were. He goes for that, and that pisses off Chris or Chef. I can't remember whose it was. I think it was actually Chef's. And since Chef doesn't have a bad relationship with Trent like he did with Duncan, I think just purely based off that, Chef boots boots Owen. By the way, I completely forgot about Camp Castaways. That would have been a very, very funny episode with Trent trying to hold down these 3 idiots. So yeah. This leads to I Triple Dog Dare You, where while Tyler's really good with DJ still is kind of like scared of Tyler, and Trent's also just there too. So I think this kind of just becomes freaking 1v1, and I think that when it comes to endurance, Tyler is your man for endurance. You've seen him, obviously, if you see him in World Tour when he falls down the whole pyramid twice. That happens. But you know who isn't an endurance person? Sorry, DJ. DJ made it really, really far, y'all. The farthest he's ever gotten in a video of mine. And yeah, I'm proud of him for that. But he is not an endurance man. I don't think he could do this challenge. I think he'd wimp out extremely quickly. Which leads us to our finale with Trent and Tyler. And for me, I think realistically, Trent definitely deserves this win. He had the strategicness, the love story, the enemies, while Tyler is just a really funny comedic relief character. But in the same vein, in the canon version of this, Owen is kind of Tyler in this, and Gwen is kind of Trent in this. By the way, because Trent never has to do the rock thing, and Gwen never does the rock thing, so yeah, that doesn't happen. But I'd say Trent is the canon winner in this scenario. But I gotta edit this really quickly, so before I go walk the dogs. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one, where, if I'm not mistaken, we will be doing, oh yeah, Tyler, actually, even though he's literally a finalist, he's our next subject of the video. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope to catch y'all then. Goodbye.